Imagine a planet of little TJ lasers, all highly skilled in weapons and biotic tactics, with me as absolute ruler. If you don't want to be a part of this incredible vision, then you can get a space taxi back to Planet Idiot.
I'm TJ Laser, expert with lasers and phasers. Definitely discouraged.
Where are we?
Lasers and phasers. Lasers and phasers.
What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to the channel, and today let's continue with another round of our WCR Tier 2 Championship. As you guys can see, we are starting to listen to the tick down of the clock on our lobby. We are about to start the qualifying session, about to get started with the lobby itself. So, while people are getting ready and getting through their loading procedures, let's get ourselves started with our introductions, shall we? Good evening then, and welcome to the WCR Grande Prémio do Brasil, the penultimate round of this season. And what a better track to possibly witness the locking down of possibly both championship battles than this Interlagos circuit, home of some of the most intense title deciding races, like the famous tire gamble from Timo Glock, and the birth of the catchphrase is that Glock back in 2008 as Hamilton wins his first Drivers' Championship, or the amazing comeback drive from Vettel in 2012 as by the end of the first lap he was not only last but also sustaining damage on a very troublesome and sensitive component of that year's Red Bull. Will Jensen and the Williams team become the first WCR Tier 2 championships or champions, or will Evil Kiwi be able to take the fight back to Abu Dhabi? So we're going to find out. First, let's take a look at our Constructors and Drivers' Championships, as we have Jensen leading the championship with 204 points, followed by Evil Kiwi 41 points behind. After that, we have Noiderate in third, still yet to breach the 100-point barrier. Then we have 5 points behind Overspeed, who freshly out of his first podium at USA jumps up to P4, overtaking Zor, who's only 1 point behind, and Black Reverse with 72 points behind. We have a tie for 7th place between Dal and Tyser, as Valu comes home in 9th so far with 36 points, 2 points ahead of Nichronical Pug as the Haas driver completes the top 10. Now moving to the constructor standings, we have Williams leading the championship with 256 points, followed by Toro Rosso as they are in second with 186. Also a 52-point gap to Renault, who sits in third for the time being, as the Swiss-based Alfa Romeo Sauber is in fourth, followed by Force India with 81 points to their name. After that we have Ferrari with 62, 20 ahead of Mercedes, as Haas follows in 8th, Tag Heuer Red Bull in 9th with 40, and McLaren Renault still not scoring since Hungary, I believe. They are still in last place with only 6 points to their name. So with that said, let's get these out of the way and let's organize our windows for a little bit. So let me just do that. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, let me just organize my windows on my second monitor. So we're going to get ourselves sorted out and ready for our qualifying session. Unfortunately, the Chronicle Pug has already retired from the session. I don't know if he just had a crash or something, but unfortunately for him, maybe just disconnected, but unfortunately for him, he's going to not be able to take part of this qualifying session. I'm just going to get ourselves set up with the details of the tires fitted for each driver and the telemetry and lap data for all of you guys to enjoy. So we're currently following the Red Bull of one of our debutees. We have actually quite a few debutees today. We have 4 debutees, as one of them is Murius, the German driver of today of the Red Bull. We don't know, of course, it's his debut race. We don't know what kind of pace he can provide, but we are going to find out pretty soon, I suppose. So we're going to get ourselves DRS wide open at the start of this flying lap. You look about that 50 meters before turn 1, very late apex to open your angle of attack to turns 2 and 3 as you get downhill through the Senna S. Go smoothly on the throttle is Bielli. Look, I don't know why he wasn't toasted, but he's out of the session as well. Looking once again just past 100 meters away from turn number 4. Is there you go on the brakes. You get now through number 5, easily done full throttle before one of the corners that, when rightly done, can gain you the most time of this track. Brake as late as you dare before turning into another right-hander to the beginning of this up and downhill section as you rev through the second sector, up and down the gears, and you have to be very smooth on your power application to maximize exit corner speed as you're now getting yourselves on the power downhill once again before spotting the end or the last braking marker really of this track right at the beginning of sector number 3. I believe there was a lag moment there for the German driver up to the wheels. Once again, DRS will be wide open soon. Right now are just trying to maximize the power of these hybrid power units, and is going to cross over the line with a lap time of 1:09.4. That grants him 5th place so far in the qualifying session. So let's take a look down the order and take a look at some cars that might be on their flying laps. Let's take a look at video cone. It looks like he is getting himself started on his medium flying. No, actually he just finished his flying lap, 1:09.8, so he's not the best of the drivers on the medium so far. Gets himself 9th place at the moment. VTEC Sim Racer already has a lap on his set of softs. He's going on an out lap. I'm guessing he didn't set the lap time because that lap got invalidated, and is at the moment saving at least the energy. Don't know about the fuel mode, but it looks like he's saving the energy of his power units. So hopefully he's preparing himself for a flying lap. As you take a look at the Welsh's record, he debuted at Russia with a 6th place finish, did not finish the race at Suzuka after the collision with the Force India of Dairi, after Dairi lost control of his car coming out of the last corner, hitting the splitter on the pit wall, and VTEC was just too close for him to be able to avoid the Force India. Looks like the Toro Rosso driver is going into the pits. So we're going to follow his teammate Evil Kiwi, the biggest contender to the championship title. Of course, Jensen is the leader, so the contester is Evil Kiwi in the best chances to do so. I believe he's actually the only driver, apart from Jensen, the only driver who still has a shot at taking that 1st place at the end of the season. But as we were talking about the Welshman, we DNF'd at Suzuka, then came back with a 9th place finish at Mexico and a 10th place finish at USA. So he hasn't been able to improve the results of his best results of the debut race so far. So we're going to take a look now at Evil Kiwi. Debuted with a 2nd place at Germany, then took 3 wins in a row, then a 3rd place at Singapore, and then at Russia he came home in 5th, breaking a 5 podium streak. Then at Suzuka, Mexico and USA he finished 3rd in all of them. He hasn't been able to win since Italy, so 5 races have passed without a win from the Czech driver, and the only race where he didn't finish in the podium was Russia, after he got involved in an incident on the restart after the safety car in very wet conditions. There was a driver who lost control and he got caught up in all the messes. Evil Kiwi is on the super softs at the moment, about to complete his flying lap. Let's see what the Toro Rosso driver can do. Can he beat Jensen to provisory pole? Let's see, he needs to beat that 1:07.3, and he's crossing over the line with a 1:07.6, exactly 3/10 and 300ths slower than his rival, and it is going to be only 2nd place so far for Evil Kiwi. We also have Virkamp in 3rd so far. He's also another one of our debutees. He's back into the pits, but he got 3rd so far. Tyser in 4th, Logan, another reserve, in 5th place, in the 2nd best of the McLarens so far. So we're going to take a look at Zor. He has showed amazing pace in every single race he took a part of. He actually did his debut at Belgium with the 2nd place finish, then winning at Singapore, followed by a 4th place at Russia, a win at Suzuka, and he wasn't able to show up for Mexico and USA. That took a knock on his championship hopes, but he has shown that he has the possibility, he has the talent, he has the pace to win. Let's see what kind of performance he can do today. He's at the moment running on a set of softs. I'll just take a moment to getting through my data, and okay, Zor looks like invalidated his own lap time. He might be going to the pits, don't really know for sure. So let's get ourselves, let me check, let's get to Virkamp, who's about to start his flying lap. Let's follow on board with the Dutch driver of the McLaren, or is reserved today to the McLaren today. Let's see what he can do with the papaya orange car. While we do that, we can take a look at the conditions for the title to be sealed, as Kiwi, Evil Kiwi, the Toro Rosso driver, needs a first or a second place finish in order to stay in the championship fight. If Kiwi gets P1, Jensen needs to finish P5 or above to lock up the title. If Kimi gets P2, Jensen only needs P9 or above to win the title. So I'm pretty sure Evil Kiwi is going to try his hardest to take on the win and expect Jensen to get some sort of issues. Of course, the pressure is all up on Evil Kiwi, because Evil Kiwi is the one who needs to get stuff done today. Jensen, even if he's not able to score any points today, he can still get the job done at Abu Dhabi for the season finale. So it's going to be interesting to see how Evil Kiwi pushes himself as Verkamp gets himself. I'm not sure if he improved on his previous fastest lap, but his fastest lap so far is 1:07.9, very close to the top two, as Jensen improves as he goes 1:07.251, so an improvement for the Williams driver. And it looks like he's really on form. It looks like he wants to wrap this thing up today, as we have who was it? Someone moved up. Wasn't quite sure who it was. I guess it was Logan getting himself back to P5 with a 1:08.1. Let's go down to the second Williams of Rat, who started the season with the Mercedes team, and he midway through the season, after the retirement of Dahl, Rat opted to take that open spot at Williams to still maintain the all-Dane lineup on the groove-based team, I believe it is. And he hasn't been doing the best of results. Of course, he was the eternal 11th place finish up until Singapore. Then he got into the Williams, got his first points of the season with the 7th place at Russia. Then he did not finish Suzuka or Mexico and got an 8th place in USA. He's not going to complete a lap, or he's going to complete the lap through the pits. So we are going to take a look at Laglaf, the Mercedes driver, who got his best finish, a 7th place at Silverstone. Then he didn't score for 6 races until he got 8th place at Suzuka, and in the last 2 races he wasn't able to also score any points. So unfortunately not the greatest season for Laglaf. Let's see what he can do today. It looks like he's on the middle of his flying lap. Hopefully he could get himself on the top 10 as Evil Kiwi goes fastest. Look at how close that was. 1:07.2 from the Czech driver. We're going to take a look at if those two go for another late lap. We're going to check on board with those for sure. Laglaf gets himself a very good lap, 1:08.0, considering he's on the super softs. He's not the slowest for sure. As you can see there, he's bang on the middle. The top 10 have all opted for the super softs, I believe, or at least they are currently picking the super softs. Not sure if those fastest laps were achieved with the red walled soft, with the red walled compound on the tires, but at least all the top 10 are using those at the moment. And let's see how the lap times change, how the order of the provisional grid changes with that. Going to jump again into a sim racer as just started his lap on the second DRS zone, down into the approach of turn number 4, about 80 meters away from the corners where he goes on the brake. Could have taken a bit tighter on the apex. He missed it a little bit, but managed to carry decent speed through there. And we start going uphill to corner number 6, I believe this is, before going through the even up and down section 2 of the circuit. Much patience you need to have through these corners, because most of the times you just need to let the car roll through the apex and just be smooth on the power, take advantage of the camber most of these corners have before, and get the power smoothly out through the tires onto the tarmac to get a good exit. Someone else dethroned, I believe it was a Black Reverse, jumping himself back into the top 5, moving leg left back down to P6. The Texan race is going to cross over the line, and it's going to be a 1:7.732, which gets him in a 4th place so far. Not too shabby the lap from the Toro Rosso driver. He needs to get a good performance here today. He knows he needs to help out Kiwi, at least in the constructors he needs to help out in order for the Toro Rosso team to be able to survive on the constructors fight and have a shot at taking home the trophy at Abu Dhabi. Let's get ourselves back to Jensen, the current championship leader, going to see how quick he can do if he can nail the lap. Well, if he can nail this 1 lap pace. Of course, he wants to beat Evil Kiwi. He's going to get another crack at it. I'm not sure if Evil Kiwi is also going to get out. We're going to follow now with the winner of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races. He won the first 3 races in a row. Then he didn't show up for Hungary or Belgium. Then he came back at Italy with the 2nd place, Singapore 2nd place again. Then he won Russia 2nd place at Suzuka, won Mexico and won USA. He never finished every single race he took a part of. He never finished below 2nd place. Shows how talented this man is, how good, at least compared to his rivals, he is. Looks like he aborted the lap, maybe? Yeah, he aborted his lap. Is he going for a second final lap? I'm not sure. We got some traffic there at the exit of Sector 2. Let's see, is he going to go? No, he's actually going to the pits. So, we're going to get ourselves a look at rider rate, as the Singaporean driver is going to set a lap time, I imagine. To start a flying lap. He isn't really using the most out of the energy deployment system, but he also went into the grass on the braking zone into turn 1. I'm not sure if he's going to be pushing it or not. He's sitting in 10th place at the moment, and he got 2 podiums, one at Hungary, another one at Russia. Hopefully for him he could get some good points for the Renault team and get a top 5 finish would be amazing for the number 33 at the end of the race. Let's see what he can do today. I don't think he's really going for a fast lap. He's in energy deployment mode number 3, so I don't think he's going for a flying lap. Let's take a look then. Just trying to find someone. We have Evil Kiwi, the championship contender. Let's see what he can do. He's currently on his out lap. Just going to wait for him to get through that one so we can try to improve on his current best lap, as Videoton retired from the session. I don't know if he crashed. We have yellow flags, but he has retired from the session. He's not going to better 12th place. He might even get pushed down, in fact. But at least his best lap time so far gets him only 12th place. He, who comes fresh from a 2nd place finish at USA, his best result of the season, the first time he got on the podium. Before that he got a couple 4th place finishes, 4 4th place finishes in fact, a 5th place, a 9th and a 10th. So every race he attended, he finished in the points. He did not show up for Italy or Russia, but every race he attended, he finished in the points, culminating on a podium at USA. But unfortunately for him today, luck is not on his side, as he's going to retire before the end of the session today. So we have Kimi getting out, we have Jensen also getting out, so we're going to take a look at his flying lap once we get the opportunity. Steph, please don't block. That was close. Evil Kiwi managing to get through without any issues. Tyser retires from the session. The session is not going to improve on 14th place so far. Managing through the 2nd sector, a bit of oversteer, or maybe it was just lag for me, but it looked to me like he got a bit of wheel spin coming out of that left-hander. Tries to open the entry, the angle of entry for this last corner. Gets a bit wide on the entry. Don't know if the game is going to get him a slap on the wrist for that. I would assume there's less traction as he braked on the grass, or he broke on the grass. But nonetheless, he's away. DRS wide open now as he's going to cross over the line. and he's actually going to retire that as the checkered flag is shown to him, as it was also shown to black reverse Stoffel, who is not going to be able to improve on that 11th place. Logan beats black reverse into 5th place with a 1:7.5. Buddha also has seen the checkered flag being waved to him. It is 17th place at the very least for the Haas driver, another of our WDs, another reserve driver. We have Jensen now coming up on his teammate. Looks like he's going to get a bit of slipstream. Will that be enough to grant him provisory pole? He's going to cross over the line, and it is a 1:7.1 as Jensen gets himself on the top spot of the grid so far for the session. Overspeed is in the pit, so everyone has crossed over the line. I don't know, I saw in the chat someone telling me, Stormy Flyer telling me that someone got penalized. I don't know who that is, but we are going to take a look at that very, very shortly. So, for that, let's get ourselves through the loading procedures. And we're going to take a look. Jensen took pole, followed by Evil Kiwi, Zor in P3, Faircamp in P4, Logan in 5th, Black Reverse in 6th, BTEX Sim Race in 7th, Noidrate in 8th, Leglaf in 9th, and Tom closes the top 10. I'm going to take a look at the race director to see the incidents. Who got the penalty? Any grid drop penalties? No. Okay, so he just got his lap invalidated, was what Stormy was trying to tell me. So while everyone is getting ready through their loading procedures for the start of the formation lap, let's get ourselves started with the track introduction, shall we? Here we are then at the Autódromo José Carlos Pache, also known as Interlagos, round number 12 of the 13 races that make this WCR Tier 2 season. Both titles might be decided today. Can Evil Kiwi and Toro Rosso take the fight to the last round? We'll find out in the 36 laps time. We are here at Brazil, the 5th largest country in the world, and near 50% of South America's total population resides in this country. A nice little stat for you guys. 36 laps we have here at this Brazilian 4.3 kilometer circuit. It's tight and it is a very short lap. 15 corners, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. You take your lap distance at full throttle for 68%, and there are only 6 braking zones, including turn 1, the Senna S's, where Juan Pablo Montoya stormed down the inside of Michael Schumacher to take the lead of the race back in 2001. Also, through the very long Curva do Sol, chances to overtake there as Max Verstappen proved in the rain back in 2016. What a fantastic drive that was, on his way to a podium that afternoon as well. Turn 12, 10 years ago, the World Championship was on the thread of losing for Lewis Hamilton. Fortunately, it ended up in his favor as he got past Timo Glock at Junção, and disappointment as well as ruined celebrations come down at the Ferrari garage. 3 different tire compounds for this race: the medium tire, the yellow stripped soft tire, and the red walled super soft. As always in Brazil, rain is a possibility, but the wet compounds will be on standby for now as the skies are clear. So with that, we can get ourselves sorted out as our drivers are getting themselves to the end of the formation lap, and we are going to get the data sorted out. Let's take a look at the intervals. I want the tires, telemetry enabled, and lap data enabled for those of you who like to see that good stuff. Now, everyone is sorted out. As you guys can see, we have just a lone Haas going on his way, as Necronical Pug was the first to retire from qualifying, and he's starting from the back of the pack. This is it now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Good start from Jensen, also from Evil Kiwi. Let's see who takes the lead into turn 1. Looks like Evil Kiwi is going to challenge the number 91 and isn't able to take the first place. Verkamp gets past Logan as he gets past the Frenchman of the Mercedes. Zor, BTX and Racer also in P6, Black Reverse in P7, Noidroid in P8, Laglaf in P9. We're going to see once again the battle between Jensen and Evil Kiwi. Awfully close was to attempting an overtake maneuver was the Toro Rosso driver there. In the meantime, we have a Black Reverse side by side with BTEC Sim Racer. The Welsh is going to try to defend the 6th place through the inside of corner number 6. He makes that work. Zor is still battling with Logan as the German and the Frenchman battle it out for 4th place. Logan gets advantage on that specific battle. So we have Jensen leading, Evil Kiwi in P2, then both McLarens followed by Zor, BTEC Sim Racer. Laglaf was also duking it out for P8 with Black Reverse. The Mercedes gets the advantage on that one. We have yellow flags somewhere along the way. Don't see anyone losing position, so not sure where that happened. But we have Stoffel in close to last place, as Videoton is currently in last place. And Chronicle Pug started last, finds himself up in P13 as Jensen, of course, is the first to get through the lap, and he finds himself with the fastest lap of the race so far. Already a 8-tenth gap to Evil Kiwi as Verkamp follows in P3, which try to take a look as Jensen tries to pull away as quickly as he can from the Toro Rosso driver. We have Tom and Noidroid going for a battle. The Renault driver actually extends the track limits there through the exit of corner number 4, and he might end up losing up another lap, or another position rather. He has contact with Murias there, goes wide once again. Tyser also went wide at corner number 6, drops the place to Rat, and Pug moves himself to P11. What an awesome first couple laps from the Haas driver. Started last, finds himself in 11th place within 2 laps. A very good start from the pole. Looking up and down the order, Jensen looks like he has already pulled away from Evil Kiwi. As you guys can see, Verkamp is actually awful close to the Toro Rosso. Let's see if there is a chance for the McLaren to attack in the laps to come. Lap number 3 is upon us now. The RS is going to be available for the cars who are within a second of their rivals. Murias and Tom went at the battle for 9th place, and Murias took advantage on that specific moment. Bialuk is out of the race, and Buddha gets a 3-second time penalty by his name. We have Noidroid trying to overtake the Chronicle Pug back into 11, uses the RS, and he does. Gets the move done. Up to 11th is the Singaporean. The Chronicle Pug is not going to give up, and he's in the wall. The Chronicle Pug, what a disaster for the pole. He was having such an amazing race. I guess he got contact there with Noidroid at the exit of turn number 4 into turn number 5, and race is over for the pole. The safety car is out, and I am not sure, but let's take a look if the strategies are going to change with the deployment of the safety car on the track. Where of course everything is going to get normalized, as I actually think there was contact there with someone. Does Verkamp have damage on his car? I believe he does have damage on his car. Just trying to have a look at that. Yeah, there is contact. There was contact between Verkamp and Jensen. I was just seeing on the on another angle through Junção, corner number 14. I saw a bit of carbon fiber flying, so it's going to be Verkamp going into the pits for a replacement of front wing. Is followed by not only his own teammate, unfortunately for the McLaren team, but also by Murias, one of our reserve drivers. Of course, unfortunately, Verkamp is going to have to replace the front wing, so Logan is going to see himself retained for quite a long time. And both McLarens rather were in the top 5. Verkamp opts for a set of softs, Logan as well. Looks like everyone who pitted are going for a set of softs, apart from Farrell and Logan, who actually went on mediums. I thought he was going for softs. The graphic was trolling me there. Apologize for that. But yeah, Murias on the softs, Verkamp also on the softs, Farrell on the super softs, and Logan on the medium compound tires on his McLaren. So going to, as everything is settling down, we are going to take a look at the order. So we have Jensen in P1, followed by his rival for the entire season, Evil Kiwi. It all comes down to this. Evil Kiwi must win the race, and Jensen finished below 5th for Kiwi to take the fight to Abu Dhabi. Zor finds himself in P3. I told you every single race he has taken part of in the season where he didn't have any sort of mistakes. He got himself a podium finishes. There's a 5-second stop and go penalty for Inferno Koi, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was for Murias for contact with his teammate. Not quite sure the graphic. I didn't quite catch what the graphic was saying, but Murias, yeah, I think Murias hit his own teammate as the Red Bull driver is into the pits. Ignoring yellow flag is also shown at Murias, so his afternoon goes from bad to worse. But yeah, Zor in P3 at the moment, followed by BTEC Sim Racer. The Toro Rossos are doing an amazing job at trying their hardest to keep the fight, at least in the constructors, for Abu Dhabi. If my maths are correct, the gap is 70 points between the Toro Rosso and the Williams team. So if Toro Rosso can gain 20 points on the groove-based team, Toro Rosso might take the championship, the constructors' crown at the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. At the moment, Jensen, of course, is scoring 25 points. His teammate is in 10, so 26 points scored at the moment for Williams, and for Toro Rosso it is 18 plus 12, I believe. So it is 30 points. So at the moment, the Williams team is only losing 4 points over the Toro Rosso team. So Toro Rosso needs to improve on those positions and hope that Rat doesn't improve and Jensen somehow finds trouble through the race. Safety car is in this lap according to race control. The restart is going to pick up soon. Neudreit gets a severe collision with Rat, unfortunately for him. Bunch of severe collision penalties throughout the pack. Jensen is backing up the pack real slowly, and there is the restart. He actually gets jumped by Evil Kiwi. What a chaotic restart. Zor is going to try to take that. Evil Kiwi had to lift off because he didn't overtake Jensen before. He overtook Jensen before the safety car line and actually had to drag race Zor into turn number 1. Let's see how it goes. Zor got inside into turn 1. They are still banging wheels and Jensen pulls away. Evil Kiwi takes the advantage there. Holds on to P2. Zor P3 might get charged down by BTEC Sim Racer, is actually dragging down on the run down into turn 4, and he actually takes the advantage up into P3. Zor answers with an inside move into turn 4 and gets P3 back, leg lap up to P5 after starting P10, I believe. Very good opening laps for him. Zor actually overtakes Evil Kiwi. They are battling it out for P2. Evil Kiwi is going to take the inside line into this right-hander and opens up an opportunity for a racer to try something around the outside. It didn't work, but once again Zor showing that he isn't afraid of trying to get his finger mixed up on this title fight. He wants to take a podium, he wants to take a win, and he was trying to do that right at the beginning of the race. So it is Williams, Toro Rosso, Mercedes, Toro Rosso, then Mercedes closing the top 5 as Leglaff is in P5. He's taking the slipstream, he's very close to the rear diffuser of the Toro Rosso. Let's see how it goes, as DRS I don't think is available at the moment. He's going to try an outside maneuver into turn 1. BTEC Sim Racer says not at the moment, thank you very much, and maintains before. We have Murias duking it out with black reverse as the Belgian driver makes it up to P8. Rat is also going to try to pick up any pieces from that confrontation as Murias has the inside line into turn number 4, even though he's on the mediums. Those are much fresher mediums, and he actually gets the move done and is up to P8. Moving up to the pack once again, there's another challenge from Zor into Evil Kiwi on the inside, but Evil Kiwi manages to hold his own around the outside and maintains P2. Jensen, with all that battling, has already pulled away over a second. This is exactly what Evil Kiwi doesn't need right now, is to lose DRS range. He's going to be vulnerable to an attack from the Frenchman of the Mercedes. So getting ourselves out of June Sound, corner number 15, now through number on the approach to number 16 as DRS is going to be available, I believe, to these drivers. Let me take a look. Actually, the camera is not helping me, but I believe that no, the DRS is actually not available to these drivers yet. So no move at the moment from Zor. I was waiting for the broadcast camera to show me a good angle, and there is now DRS available to Zor. He's going to have the flap wide open on the rear wing on these Mercedes. He makes a bit of a lunge into the inside and makes his way up to P2. Not sure if Kiwi really just didn't want to battle his the Mercedes, afraid to lose even more time to the leader. Jensen has pulled away, almost a 2-second gap between Jensen and Zor, as BTEC Simulator is now very close to his own teammate. Not sure if BTEC is going to try to battle his teammate. I would assume not, as Laglav gets very wide there. He actually goes into the grass. A mistake there from the Mercedes driver as he locked up into the right-hander and finds himself on the grass. Drops a place from 5th, actually 2 places, as he gets down to P7. Tyser in the Renault up to P5, and Tom on his 2nd race for the Ferrari, making a very solid 6th place finish at the moment. Looking back to BTEC Simulator is getting DRS on Evil Curie, but not enough to make a move. Let's take a look at the black reverse. He's going on a challenge at Murias, and he actually makes the move done. Up to P8 is the Belgian driver. Looking down the order once again, just scanning the gaps. We have a move from Ton on Tyser. Tom is going down the inside, gets the move done. Laglav still ahead of Black Reverse, but he goes wide once again. Black Reverse went to try that, but it didn't work for him. Murias is going to say thank you very much and propel himself to P8. He used the best out of the medium compound runners at the moment. Zor hasn't really been able to have yellow flags through sector 1. Logan, I think it's overspeed with an issue. Overspeed is ghosting. Not sure if it is disconnected or not. It's going awfully slowly. He's down to P15. But yeah, he was battling with Logan for P13, I believe, and lost out maybe some contact, maybe just lost the car. Doesn't matter at the moment, but luck is not on his side. Another safety car is deployed in this race, and of course Jason is going to not be able to pull away. He's going into the pits. Zor follows him. Everyone on the Super Softs is going into the pits, or at least the top 4 are going on the pits. Not the greatest move, I would say, from BTEC Simulator. He's going to get stacked behind Evil Kiwi. Let's see, is any one of these cars going to get held up? Yes, I believe Evil Kiwi actually held up. The Mercedes also held up Jensen. Let's see where Evil Kiwi comes out. And does he comes out ahead of the Williams? I'm not sure at all. And yes, Jensen, that camera is not helping. Jensen comes out in P4. Yeah, the camera is really not trying to help me today. Evil Kiwi in P6. So 1, 2, 3 are still in order. Black Reverse in 7. BTEC Simulator in 8 after getting held up, or at least stacked with his teammate as they pitted at the same time. And he's out of the pits in 8. It only looks like he lost place. Murias did not stop on his mediums. Tyser did not stop on his ninth lap on the Super Softs. Tom hasn't stopped yet as he catches up to the safety car and inherits the lead of his race. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Just a family member is visiting, just greeting him home. We're going to take a look at the order. I think everything is set up already. Overspeed recovered into the pits. He's coming out in 15th. Looks like Steph Farrell is going to come out of the pits in 16th. The pack is going to get bunched up once again. And I would really like to know what's going on through the mind of both Evil Kiwi and Jensen. Kiwi knows that he has to get through Zor, he needs to get through Jensen. Maybe he's hoping for a mistake from the 2 ahead of them as they battle traffic. One less car of traffic ahead of them. As Tyser comes through the pits to get rid of the Super Soft tires. I wouldn't say that is the best approach, especially as everyone was already backed up. He's probably going to come out of the pits in last place, or at least close to it. It actually doesn't look like he's going to come out. Why are the other drivers so far behind? Actually, yeah, he's not coming out in nowhere near last place, in fact. he might be able to hold actually himself ahead of his teammate, and yes, he comes out in P10. Everyone below 9th place hasn't caught up to the pack just yet, so we have only Tom ahead of Jensen and ahead of Zor and Evil Kiwi. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, as that trio looks like is going to be battling it out to the extent of the race, as they are with brand new mediums. Actually, that's top 4. BTX and Racer opted onto a second set of super softs, so he's going to make another pit stop by the end of the race. He's not going to take those super softs until the end, as we have BTX and Racer. A severe collision with Black Reverse gets served a 5-second stop and go penalty. That really doesn't help his extra pit stop strategy for sure. Black Reverse also with a 5-second stop and go penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Something tells me there's going to be plenty of reports for incidents for this race. Unfortunately, he also lost Verkamp, the debutee, actually qualified in the top 5 with his McLaren, but hasn't been able to get any luck during the race. He's the 3rd victim of this Grand Prix, unfortunately for him. And the DRS is enabled. Do we have green flag? I believe so. I actually got caught out by that one, as you have yellow flag, green flag racing rather. Tom still leads. Murias is going to get challenged by Evil Kiwi, as I'm mostly not sure what happened. Why is Jason down to 11th? It is a mess at the moment. We actually have Tom in 1st, followed by Murias, Evil Kiwi in P3, Black Reverse in P4, Vitex and Racer in P5, then we have Laglaf in P6, followed by Rat Jason up to P8 as he overtakes Videoton into turn number 4, but I honestly don't know what happened to him. Zor went into the pits and there's a collision! Multiple cars involved in that one. There was Noiderate, and I believe Videoton is out of the race. And unfortunately, Videotoni survived the collision, went into the pits, and now he didn't survive a second contact. Noiderate also has issues. Logan almost got collected there by Buddha, and Logan, I'm pretty sure he's going to have to replace a front wing, or at least going to be careful with the car for a little bit while the tires are getting rid of all the grass in dump. Back to the front, we have Tom leading, followed by Murias. As Evil Kiwi is back to P3, BTEC Sim Racer actually goes into the pits to get rid of those super softs. He's going to get a 5-second stop and go penalty, adding to his pit stop time. Also, Rat is going to get rid of that set of mediums, potentially also fixing, I was looking for the word, replacing his front wing. Noiderate also goes into the pits after that massive collision at the exit of turn number 4, and Murias gets his way through and gets the lead of the race. Tom is not giving up. He had a look at the inside, but he decided to back off from that one, as we have Jensen back into P6, Zor in 11th, but this is exactly what Evil Kiwi needs at the moment. Jensen is currently below 5th place. If the race ended with Kiwi winning and Jensen below 5th place, Jensen is going to have to defend his title shot at Abu Dhabi. If Jensen finishes within the top 5, even if Kiwi wins, it is over for the title battle, at least the drivers' battle. Of course, at the moment, Toro Rosso is outscoring Williams, but not by enough to also get a title shot or a shot at targeting the constructors' title at Abu Dhabi. As once again, there needs to be a 20 points gain from Toro Rosso to Williams today in order for the constructors' fight to be had at Abu Dhabi. So another 5-second stop and go for speeding into the pit lane for Inferno Coils is going to get rid of that set of mediums. Going to jump into the lead once again, just trying to scan down the gaps. Jensen is awfully close to Laglaf. I'm sure Laglaf might be trying to hold up the Dane, as Zor, his teammate, is actually battling for a win, or for at least the podium, and his teammate is still intense. So if Laglaf is going to try and hold up Jensen, you better do it well, to help his teammate out, and of course he would also help out Evil Kiwis. There's a mistake though from the Mercedes driver. He hasn't had the best consistency so far. Jason Max Verstappen goes around corner number 14, I believe that is, no, actually corner number 12, and makes it around the outside action zone and gets himself into the 5th place he needs. I don't know if he's going to get the DRS at his disposal though. Let's see, the DRS is going to get wide open. The Mercedes and the Renault are going to take advantage of that. They're going to see how it goes. Leg left tries the outside, comes back down on Tyser. He needs to get a little bit more room to avoid the collision there. Tyser doesn't really get past leg left, and the Irishman is able to hold onto P6. Logan is smelling blood though. DRS and the slipstream very powerful as he's very close to the rear diffuser of that Renault. He goes down the inside, gets a bit wide on the exit, but Tyser isn't quick enough to there to answer the German's charge. The German gets his McLaren up to P7. So Murias has been able to pull away from Tom, who's on a 14-lap old set of softs. Of course, I'd say if he's going to try the one stop from softs to super softs, the safety car has helped him, but let's see what he can do until the end of the race. He'll certainly be very quick if he can bolt on a new set of super softs and go on a late charge on the red walled compound. That would be very interesting to see where the Ferrari driver ends up. A 3-second time penalty for leg left as he extends the track limits one too many times. Leg left is too far behind Jensen to attack him. Logan might make his 2nd position in the same amount of laps, and he actually gets himself through using the RS and up to P6. Evil Kiwi overtakes Murias for P2, and one driver just disconnected. I'm not sure who it was it Murias? I'm actually not sure. I just saw the message that someone left the session. Pretty sure that was a disconnection. I believe it is Murias because he's in ghost mode. Black Reverse also moving up to P3. Brilliant race so far from the Force India driver. I don't believe he qualified too high in the top 10, but he's been able to keep himself out of trouble, taking advantage of the misfortunes of others, and gets himself P3 at the moment. Brilliant performance from the Belgian driver so far. Jason is going to get promoted to P4. I'm actually sorry for the pause mode. I had to minimize OBS so I could take a look. I was actually praising Black Reverse. His best race finish at the moment is a 4th place at Singapore, so if he gets a podium today, it would be the first podium of the career, so to speak, of the Force India driver, which would be very nice to see. Evil Kiwi inherits the lead. Black Reverse is right behind him as Tom gets into the pits to get rid of those softs and get into a set of mediums, which actually boggles me a little bit. Do the leaders not have enough laps to make on those mediums? Maybe they have to pit stop once again. And maybe Tom doesn't have to pit anymore, and the top 3 need to pit at least once again. That would be interesting to see. I'm not sure if those mediums, because of the option of Tom to get to the mediums, I'm not sure anymore if the top 3 can take those mediums to the end of the race. So we have Tyser getting past Marius. Says thank you very much. Easiest overtaking maneuver of his career, I would say. Steph Farrell qualified outside of the top 10, the reserve driver, and finds himself in 5th place. Amazing job from the reserve driver for sure. To get yourself annoyed rate with the race control message. A 3-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits one too many times. Unfortunately for the Singaporean driver, Veerkamp left the session. He had already retired from the race a while ago. I'm not sure if it was due to a crash or just disconnection or something, but he is out of the race. Just now opted to come out of the lobby. We have Steph Farrell going to be able to use DRS to chase down Tyser, but not able to pull off a maneuver once again. Steph Farrell has only 1 lap older tires. Of course, the tire wear might be a little higher on the Force India, because the softer the compounds, the quicker the degradation lap after lap. A little bit of a lockup into turn 4, but the DRS helped get the inside position, and Steph Farrell is up to position number 4. Let's see how the battle between these two is going to develop in the next couple laps. After these two, the pairing that is the closest to each other is actually Black Reverse and Evil Kiwi. Evil Kiwi is actually doing the best he can to take his chances at taking the win and extending the title fight for the last race of the season. He can't do anything more better than this. He's leading the race. It is Jensen who needs to finish below 5th place for the chance to be ahead of Evil Kiwi. If Evil Kiwi finishes 3rd or below, it is absolutely done for the Czech driver. If Kiwi finishes in 2nd place, Jensen needs to finish 10th or below to not be able to win the championship. Tyser gets back at Stoffel and Steph gets into the pits, so Tyser inherits that 4th place finish. Soft tires on is the choice of the Force India. Actually surprised to not see the number 95 on a brand new set of mediums, considering I expect them to make the race distance or to last until the end of the race, especially as Tom went on that strategy, as I would assume is on a one-stop strategy. Stoffel still comes out of the pits in 9th place, so still well within the points. So at least on that front, the Force India driver can rest assured. Going to look up and down the order, less than a second separating from Murias, as going to overtake Murias. Hasn't been able to come back to the lobby. Unfortunately, Buddha gets another 3-second time penalty. Zori is going to overtake the Red Bull driver pretty shortly, and Black Reverse has now cut the gap by almost half compared to Evil Kiwi. And Black Reverse might actually challenge the Toro Rosso driver in the next DRS zone. The camera angle wasn't really happening there. DRS is wide open in the back of that Force India, but he doesn't close in by enough to challenge the Toro Rosso. Moving down the order, just scanning the pack, Zor is still very close to Tom. I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to overtake unless there is a mistake from the Ferrari driver, but Tom has much fresher tires, or at least 5 laps fresher tires, and maybe more fuel, maybe more energy at his disposal. But Zor is going to get DRS and slipstream and all that good stuff, and I'm sure there's going to be a fight in the laps to come, especially look at how much he closed in, especially his leg lap. He is right in front of Tom, so the Irishman might very well be trying to block Tom, giving a chance of Zor to overtake both of them. Zor can get himself in the fight for at least a podium position by the end of this. Looking at Black Reverse, he is too far away, I would say, to charge Evil Kiwi, so we will stick with this 3-car battle for P5 as Pitex and Racer goes into the pits once again, and he retires the car through the pit lane. So it is at the moment it is locked down championship constructors title for the Williams, as Toro Rosso needed both cars to score points in order to be able to keep the title hopes alive, but as you can see, he's retired. So Williams is now mathematically the World Constructors Champions, at least through my accounts. We also saw Leglaf drop down to P7 as he was trying to get Zor past him, and also trying to get Zor past Tom. That didn't work. Zor is still behind the Ferrari and is going to have to sit there for the remaining of the lap. Moving into the top 3, Jensen is just as close to Black Reverse as Black Reverse is close to Evil Kiwi. Let's see how it goes. Buddha retires from the session, didn't really have the best of luck this race. The debutee from USA was driving the Haas. He's a reserve driver, of course, this is debut, but unfortunately the race not being on his side, just a bad day at work for the American driver, and is out of the race. Only 14 cars racing at the moment, as we have 14 laps to go here at the Autódromo José Carlos Pache, also known as Interlagos. And we are going to see, still have Jensen with a hope maybe to get the race win. Of course, if the race ended right now, Jensen would be the Drivers' Championship winner, the World Drivers' Champion. But first, he needs to, if he wants to at least improve and take the fight of the race win to Evil Kiwi, he needs to get past Black Reverse. I'm pretty sure that's going to be happening soon. Zor still hasn't been able to overtake Tom, so we're going to wait for the next lap for that to happen, perhaps. Of course, Zor is very close to the rear diffuser of the Ferrari, but the Ferrari has 5 laps fresher tires. You had Stoffel overtake Murias, and Murias still hasn't been able to reconnect to the lobby. 16 laps on that set of mediums, and of course Black Reverse benefits from DRS, so Jensen can't really bridge the gap and try an overtaking maneuver into turn number 1. Let's see how it goes into turn number 3. Black Reverse might very well challenge the Toro Rosso driver. No, looks like he didn't have to get the best exit out of turn 2, and Jensen is going to just be too far away to try and maneuver. Of course, Black Reverse is also benefiting from DRS, so it makes the job harder for the Williams driver, even though the Williams driver doesn't really need to force an overtake. He can just try and see if Black Reverse challenges Kiwi and trying to pick up any pieces from that. Zor finally got past Tom into turn number 1, I would say, considering the gap between them right now. So he had a couple of yellow flags. There is overspeed in the wall, or at least not facing the correct way once again. Really up and down season from the Alfa Romeo driver. A second place finish at USA, and today is not even nowhere near challenging for the points. Very unfortunate from the Alfa Romeo driver. Going to see another lap begin, lap number 24, as Black Reverse actually outbroke himself, and I believe he got contact with Evil Q. I believe I saw a bit of carbon fiber flying from the front of that Force India, and yes, the entire, I would say, oh no, sorry, that was just a visual glitch. For a moment I thought that black part on the wall, on the left side wall, if I can call it that, of the front wing to be gone there, but actually it looks like the front wing is intact. Either no, wait, in some shots it looked like it is intact, in some others no. There's certainly an element missing. As you can see, no, the left side of his front wing is definitely missing a component on the side of it, so wing damage for the Force India driver. Unfortunately, outbreaking himself, making a mistake, and he can still try to drive it out until the end of the race, just trying to be careful, but he's not going to be challenging for the race win no more. Jensen within a second away from Evil Curie. Now it's going to be between these two. Jensen looks like he has locked down the World Drivers' Championship. He needs to finish below 5th for Evil Curie to still have a chance to fight at Abu Dhabi. Now let's see if Jensen is also going to try and take the race win from Evil Curie. Another issues at sector number 3. Not sure who is going through there at the moment, just trying to look, but I don't see anyone losing places, so maybe someone just ran wide. Murias is still in 9th place after being disconnected for God knows how many laps. He hasn't been able to come back to the lobby. The car hasn't made a pit stop, so he's still actually in a top 10 placement. If he actually came back into the lobby and started driving his car, he could maybe just bolt on a set of super softs and try to make a charge and try to get back into the top 10. It's not like he would have many cars in front of him after that pit stop. As speaking of pit stops, we have the Rat coming on super softs and overspeed on intermediates. That's not, either that was a misclick or maybe a bit of troll there from the Alfa Romeo driver. For sure that set of tires is not really going to work. You have Evil Queen getting a challenge by Jensen into turn 1. The DRS is powerful around here, or at least need to run down into turn 1. As the straight, or the opportunity to use it, is actually very long, even though the straight is quite short. Turn 16 is basically done full throttle, basically as if it was a straight, so it doesn't really matter. Jensen is going to have DRS once again, but he's actually going to back out from maneuver. He knows he can take his time, he just needs to keep piling the pressure onto Evil Kiwi. He knows he has the championship in the bag. He just doesn't need a risky maneuver and maybe create contact, as his own teammate Rat is just going to let the top 2 get past, doesn't really want to get involved in that fight. We also have overspeed on the bright green intermediate tires, looking to get rid of those. Honestly, don't know what happened there with the Alfa Romeo driver, but unfortunately is not going to get anywhere near the punching positions anytime soon. Now, full on board of Jensen, as you can see, just trying to aim and pray at Here is going to get the RS, going to get the slipstream. He's already alongside, he's already halfway past into the braking zone. He is full past, and he takes the lead of the race. Up into P1 is Jensen Valtteri. Let's see if he's going to try to battle it out. Let's see if he's going to try to answer back at his championship rival. At least if he can't take the win of the race, at least take the win. Sorry, if he can't take the championship win, at least take the... Oh my god, my heart sank there for a second. Valtteri making a mistake on the curbs, getting a bit sideways on the exit of turn 4, and he just lost the gap that he needed to keep himself up with the Williams driver. He just lost that gap, and now he's going to have to do some heavy lifting if he wants to get back at chance and try to contest him for the race win. As I was saying, even if he can't win the championship, at least to win the goddamn race. But that doesn't look like it's the case for the time being. Very tiny mistake for Valtteri there out of turn 4. Just he was trying to get himself a consistent pace, to keep himself behind Valtteri and challenging him into the later laps of this race. No mistake, and look at it, it's just losing time. Maybe Jensen feels more comfortable on this set of tires, or maybe he's just managing the life of them a bit more effectively. Black reverse, despite having his issues with the damage he suffered a couple laps ago, he's still holding on to P3. Tom and Zor both zoom through or zoom past Tyson. Not much the number 22 can do other than just trying to hold on to it. He has the same amount of laps as sorry, no, he actually doesn't have the same amount of laps as anyone in front of him. But yeah, he's on the soft, so those are going to be great a bit quicker. Zor and Tom have tire advantage compared to him, and look, the gap has already widened quite a bit, and we've only ended the first sector, so it's going to be tough if Tyson wants to finish the race in a top 5 position. Leglaf looks like he's challenging Seth into turn 4, decided to back out, or at least Steph was able to fend off the attack from the Irish driver, but is going to be able to live on and try another day. Of course, look at the disparity of tire usage between these two. Steph Farrell has only 9 laps. Basically, Leglaf has done double the amount of laps and goes very deep into the corner, completely outbrakes himself, manages to avoid damage on his front wing, but that burnout is not going to help his tire life. A mistake once again into that corner. That is the second or third mistake Leglaf commits into that left-hander. Fortunately, I didn't see any carbon fiber getting loose, so I don't think there was damage from Steph as Leglaf just dove to the inside and actually got contact with the Force India. Tyson is going to get a brand new set of super softs. He could have done this move a couple laps ago, but it is what it is. He's still going to get back on the track in 7th place, especially after Leglaf's mistake, and that is going to be it. Kimi has recovered about 3/10 on Jensen through the last couple laps, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to close the gap further compared to Jensen, as they are both starting the 20th lap on their set of tires. Black reverse, unfortunately for him, after his damage. He's still trying to hold on to it, still trying to just nurse the car home with the podium. It would be the first podium of his career. Valtteri with a 3-second time penalty to his name. I don't know if Jensen has any penalty of his own, but at the moment, Valtteri is not getting... it's not looking good for the chances of Valtteri to win the race. Black reverse, at least he's still 10 seconds ahead of Zor, and Zor might get some battling with the Ferrari driver. Of course, the number 23 has 5 laps fresher tires than the Frenchman of the Mercedes, but of course, doesn't really matter how much fresher your tires are when the opponent is just outright quicker than you. As Inferno Coil retires from the session, I believe there was a crash from the Red Bull driver. I'm looking for the word, sorry. The WD is probably not having... All WDs are not having the greatest of luck. Murias only now is on the 24th lap on his set of mediums. Still hasn't been able to rejoin the lobby. Yeah, he's still ghosted, but all 4 WDs are out of this race. Unfortunately for them, not the greatest first showing here at Brazil. So yeah, it goes for possibly better luck at the next race, at the season finale, but unfortunately today, not their day. Tyser is going to be able to take a bit of a charge into potentially gaining some more places, as Leglaff got overtaken by the German of Logan as he gets up to 8 on his McLaren. Tom challenges Zor into turn number 4, gets a bit of a get out of the way there, as Zor was forced wide at the exit of turn 4, but Tom makes his way up to P4, and with that Zor is going to have another try at getting past the Ferrari. Let's see how well can the Ferrari defend. Let's not forget it is 5 laps of difference in tire wear, but of course it looks like Zor is just more comfortable, or at least just outright quicker, and that difference is not enough to allow Tom to pull away. Zor is going to get DRS now as we get through the last 2 corners of this Brazilian layout. DRS is wide open on the rear wing of this Mercedes, is going to the outside of the corner. Tom gets a bit too deep into that screen to not get him the greatest angle of attack into turn number 2, and out of turn number 3 looks like Zor goes for the switchback, gets better exiting speed, and it's going to be a drag race. He's got DRS as well to help him get through, and just easily, very well done from the Mercedes driver as he moves up to P4 once again. Tyser also in the meantime was able to overtake Stefan. Now of course the difference in tires dictated how the battle was going to be. It was always going to be Tyson getting past Steph. It was just a matter of when. Taking a look at Leglaff, is actually still holding onto those set of mediums for 22 laps, especially after how many burnouts and how many lockups he's made. It's actually quite surprising to see, I would say. Rat overtakes Murius, who's still ghosted on 26 laps held from that set of mediums. And Tyser, despite being on the super softs, is over 20 seconds behind the closest members of the top 5, so that it's not going to be the easiest time of his life getting back to them. I don't think that's going to be possible with only 2 laps to go in this race. Looking back at the front, Jensen has been able to pull away. The gap is now over 2 seconds to Evil Kiwi. Evil Kiwi also has a 3-second time penalty to his name. Don't know if Jensen has any penalty of his own. Looking down the order, back to the fight for 4th and 5th. This is the car pairing that is the closest on track at the moment. So let's see how it's going to be between these two. Just following Tom. Again, this is his only second race for the Scuderia Ferrari. He became the team's full-time driver, one of the 2 full-time drivers at USA. It was also his debut race and managed to get 7th place, as Bielli, just like today, did not finish the race, so he was the only of the Ferraris to score points at USA, at Austin. And today the story is just repeating himself. Tom is improving on his previously gotten placement at the end of the race, and Tom is just letting Zor go a little bit too much. Zor looks like he's just more comfortable, just quicker, at least on the power of the setup or something, or maybe just raw talent is just quicker, and Tom, despite having 5 laps fresh in mediums, is not really able to keep up with the Mercedes driver. Once the Mercedes driver does any sort of mistake until the end of the lap. So, talking about Zor, once again, he hasn't been able to show up for both Mexico and USA, but he already has, out of his 4 race participations, got a 2nd place at Belgium, 1st place at Singapore, 4th place at Russia, and 1st at Suzuka. So 2 wins, 2 race wins, 3 podiums, and 1 4th place. So he's never gotten worse than 4th place. Very well done from Zor. It shows how good he is. Of course, he had right on the safety car restart. I don't know if he got brake checked or something, but he went into the pits on a safety car restart, so he lost an awful amount of places, still came back to get himself into the top 5, so very well done by the Frenchman. Looks like Tom is not really able to keep up anymore, and it's just slowly but surely leaving the Mercedes pull away from him. Buda has left the session. He had already retired from the race a while ago, and now leaves the lobby itself. Getting back to Jensen, looks like he made a mistake, or maybe he's just saving his tires as Evil Kiwi is getting time on the Dane. The gap was at 1.2.5 seconds, maybe even over that, but last time I checked it was just over 2.5 seconds, and the Czech driver has been able to pull back some of that time. Either it's just increasing. Jensen maybe just made a mistake or just saving tires. Jensen just open or start his last lap. By the way, guys, don't forget, I'm going to have a flash interview, so to speak, with Jensen at the end of the race if he becomes the World Drivers' Champion. So let's take a look at that. Of course, if as it ends as it is also going to be the World Constructors' Championship for Williams. But yeah, Jensen qualified himself on pole by a 10th. Got himself on the second safety car restart a bit of a mess. He actually dropped out of the top 10, but then an amazing charge saw him get his way through the midfield and get the battle back to Evil Kiwi and take the lead. Evil Kiwi made a mistake, wasn't able to fight back, but this is racing. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Jensen just has 2 corners to go before getting crowned the new World Driver Champion. This is it. Jensen, with some celebratory waving, is going to cross over the line to take home the win of the Brazilian Grand Prix. And Jensen is the first Tier 2 WCR World Drivers Champion, and Williams becomes the first Tier 2 WCR World Constructors Champion. What a race, what a season from Jensen. Evil Kiwi comes home in P2, Zor in P3, Tom in P4, Black reverse on penalties, drops down to P5. This could have been the best performance of Black reverse's first podium, but unfortunately luck wasn't on his side. He got outworked himself into turn 1, went into the back of Evil Kiwi, gave damage to himself, lost time for about 10 laps, and then the penalties demoted him to P5. Tyser, despite his efforts, couldn't get better than P6. Stoffel crosses the line in 7th. Logan in 8th. Leglaff is going to cross the line in 9th. As Noiderate completes the top 10. Rat in 11th. Murray is in 12th. And Overspeed, over a lap down, have already crossed over the line. And we're going to have Leglaff to be the last of the drivers with a bit of a spin there, crossing over the line, still scoring some points. It's not his personal best result, but it is the third race where he scores points for his Mercedes team. So we're going to get ourselves through the podium, and as you can see, amazing race. Both Zor and Jensen had issues during the second safety car restart, but they still came back to get themselves a podium. Actually, the Dane not only consolidating the title, but getting himself the race win as well after overtaking Evil Kiwi, and Evil Kiwi not sustaining the pressure. Maybe got caught out by the lower drag on his front wing as he was now following a car. He was leading for quite a while, so he maybe got caught out by that, and on top of that he got a penalty of his own. So we have Jensen taking the race win and the win of the World Drivers' Championship. Evil Kiwi in P2, Zor P3, Tom P4, Black Reverse P5, Tyser in P6, Steph Farrell started 11th, finishes 7th, Logan gets himself in 8th, Leglaff in 9th, exactly where he started, and Noiderate closes the top 10. A bit of a tough race for the Renault driver, involved in a few incidents, but still comes home out of that with a point. So now I'm going to get myself on Discord, and I would like to get Jensen. Just give me a moment. I'm going to call Jensen to the voice channel. Let's see if he answers that. Okay, so just waiting for him to answer my message. And yeah, guys, just let me know while we wait. Let me know in chat who you guys think was the best driver of the race. Let me know if you think Jensen's championship was deserved. But yeah, for me it was. I just think it was a very good season from him. Of course, Evil Kiwi didn't start his season until the third race of the championship, got a second place at Germany. That was the Czech driver's debut race. But Jensen also didn't attend Hungary and Belgium, both races where the Toro Rosso driver won, so it's leveled up the playing field, I would say. Both of them were in every single race after that, and yeah, sometimes it was Kiwi taking advantage, some other times it was Jensen, but Jensen at the end of the season being the most consistent. I'm going to try. Where is Jensen?
I'm ready.
Oh, hey Jensen, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, what's up?
So, what do you think? I'm going to tell some stats for you. Actually, I have them all written, whatever, English, please. You have
Yes.
1, 2, 3. You have 6 wins. We have every single race you attended. You got a podium. You got 3 second places and 6 first places. You only did not attend Hungary and Belgium. I don't know. I don't have the stats for pole positions, but yeah, I would say just Hungary and Belgium were just some chinks in the armor on an otherwise perfect season, I would say. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's been a long season, but like almost perfect with first and second places all through the races, and I couldn't really be happier. Kiwi and Sor, they are so fast, and like I feel very lucky to have been on the podium every single race, and they could just have have won the season.
Yeah, it was close at some points. Actually, Kiwi beat you on track sometimes. He beat you at Italy, for example. He didn't beat you at Russia. You actually won that one. But yeah, he beat you at Italy, and yeah, it was actually the only place where Kiwi beat you. Of course, the other times you won the race, you didn't show up, and
Yeah.
after that, it was you beating him. But speaking about this race, what happens? There was a lot of mess on that second restart. I actually don't think I got the notification from the game telling me the safety car was coming in. Actually, you guys started accelerating, and for me, it was still showing yellow flags. So what happened there?
I got a message like after this last corner, so I was quite surprised too. And then it was just holding the speed low, and I saw Kiwi make a little move trying to go, and then I just waited just half a second more, and then I just went, and it got bunched up a little bit. And yeah, then later in the second safety car, I I spun on my own. That was quite funny. So I had to go back from, I think, P11 or something to fight
Yeah,
back.
it was
And
something like that.
it was a very, very sweaty and tough race. Yeah, I've really practiced a lot for Brazil, so I'm very happy with
Yeah,
this result.
what went through your head once you overtook Kiwi, if I'm not mistaken, into turn 1, and
Yeah.
then you arrived to turn 4, maybe expecting a comeback from him, but you had DRS, I believe, at that point. And then he just makes a mistake because he just went on the curb and lost the rear. He actually had to do 2 correcting motions. He lost the car twice, actually. And what went through your head when you saw the gap increase like that?
Well, when I took him in turn 1, I was totally focused on getting the 1 second gap. I didn't actually have DRS on the second straight. He actually had that, I think. But somehow I got a good exit, and he might not have gotten a good exit. So I had a little room, so he wouldn't attack me in turn 4. And then I saw out of turn 4 or 5, he was like sliding, and then I felt confident that I could get the 1 second gap for the next straight. So
how high was the tire wear in those last laps?
Yeah, I was looking at that. I think I saw 76% going into the last lap. I was really worried about a puncture. Me and Rat, we were talking about it.
I believe you actually dropped like half a second just on the beginning of that lap.
Yeah,
it
was just about getting home at that point. I saw me and Kimi, the gap had kind of stabilized, so it was just no mistakes. Don't get a third warning because I already had 2, so I wouldn't get that penalty. And yeah, just don't get a stupid puncture. Don't go too hard on the curbs. Just keep it home.
Okay, so yeah, there you have it from Jensen. Thank you for coming by. You are the first Tier 2 WCR champion, and not only you got the Drivers' Championship, you also locked down the Constructors' Championship. So good luck with that. Tell that to both Dal and Rat, because I'm sure they both contributed in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is it. You're welcome. So this is it for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video if you are on YouTube. If you are on Twitch, a follow would be greatly appreciated. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.